Hey guys, welcome to the Baseball Junkies podcast, episode 18. I am your host, Adrian, from A League of Our Own.
And I'm your boy, Mr. Enfuego, just here.
Guys, thanks for joining us today, both on YouTube and listening to us on your favorite podcast format. If you're with us on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. And yeah, here we go. We got some fun baseball news coming at you today. A lot of things are building up here. We've got 19 days until opening day. 19 days.
19.
Yes. And there's just so much super exciting things happening that is making me like so much more hyped up for the season. The World Baseball Classic is in full throttle. I can't take my eyes off of Shohei Ohtani. And we've also got spring training, full go. I've been bouncing around watching little bits of all the teams. I got a really good look at my secondary team, the Blue Jays, today, playing the Orioles, another team I was super hyped to see because they've got all these great like young players coming up. So we got a little bit of that and a little bit of this. Some signings. We had some signings today. Pretty significant ones at that. We've got Keibert Ruiz of the Washington Nationals signing a 8-year extension for $50 million with the Nats. And we also, Corbin Carroll, the Diamondbacks, doing an 8-year extension as well, but his was for $111 million with a club option that would kick him up to $134 million. What are your thoughts on those two signings?
Well, here's my thing. Congratulations for those two young men on getting that big payday. Now, let's get to the reality of it. What is the benefit of signing a lot of these youngsters with young careers? Okay. What I'm starting to notice, and I'm sure you see the same thing, and a lot of our viewers watch it, to include our listeners, a lot of these extensions that a lot of these players are getting, they turn out to be the opposite of what these teams hope for them to be. Okay. Let me be a little specific. So you've got these kids like they're doing great in the minors, they're tearing it up, doing their thing. They get to the league. Some of them don't even make it to the All-Star game. Some of them get sent back down if they get called up from the All-Star game. Okay. But I just can't get my head wrapped around the fact that a lot of these youngsters are not even getting a significant amount of service time on their resumes, and they're getting these extensions. And some of these players, and I'm just going to name a few because there's quite a few of them, but I'm just going to name maybe 2 or 3. Let's take Luis Robert, for example. Okay. He got signed in January of 2020, but he has 0 days of service time, and they threw him a 6-year, $50 million bone at him. Okay. What has he done for the team lately? What has he done for himself lately besides accumulate at-bats, generate an average player batting average, and really doing nothing to give you the wow factor? That's just one. Let's go to who's another one? Evan Longoria. He got extended with 24 days of service time. They gave him a 6-year, $17.5 million deal. Okay. What has he done? I mean, now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying these kids are scrubs or substandard, but they're playing like your average typical player. Okay. Now, fast forward a little bit. Let's go to Wander Franco. Got signed November of 2021. He does have, in fact, 104 days of service time. Since his extension, he spent more time on the injured reserve list than actually on the diamond. I mean, the kid's a switch hitter, He's a second baseman, could possibly be shortstop, but really hasn't done anything much. He had a pretty stellar debut those first couple of months when he came up, but then after that, wonder who. Okay. The big one that sticks out to me, and I love this kid. Okay. I heavily collect him and so on and so forth. Julio Rodriguez. 141 days of service time. He got called up just for opening day last year. Now, he did make a name for himself. He won Rookie of the Year, 25 home runs, 28 stolen bases. Okay. So he made a name for himself. Who's to say he got extended 13 years, $210 million. Who's to say season 2023 he's a bust? And those are just few of the names that this list I pulled off of MLB.com. Those are just a few of the names that stick out to me, and I'm sure there's more of them. But now let's go to a couple of years back before this whole frenzy of signing them when they were young kicked in. Let's take Alex Rodriguez, for example. He spent 2-3 years with the Mariners before moving to Texas. Texas decided to offer him a 10-year, $275 million contract, which at that time was the highest contract ever given to an athlete. Didn't do so well. Yankees ended up picking him up. I believe it was 07 or 05, one of the two. Didn't do too well until they won the World Series in 2009. So I mean, is it real? If I was an owner, I'm not gonna be quick to pull the trigger on a kid who has a stellar first year, an outstanding career in the minors, because to me, keyword is consistency. Okay, you had a great rookie year. You won the Rookie of the Year. You did all this. Can you bring that same energy the following year? Maybe the year after that. I mean, if I see that you're carrying over from 2022 into the new season and I'm noticing consistency, yeah, I'll consider it an extension. But am I going to cough up the mega deal? Probably not, especially no 13-year, $210 million.
Okay. You've made a lot of valid points. And when we talked about this, earlier this week, I just think there's a trend. There's obviously a trend going on right now. These organizations are offering these amazing players. All of them are amazing. I feel like it's a gamble. It's a gamble, but high risk, high reward kind of thing. They're trying to grab these kids that have the potential to be the next Mike Trout or the next big thing, and they're trying to get them really at a discount. Lock them in, lock them in early. Franco, great example. Luis Robert, it does kind of seem like it's jinxing them a little bit. Luis Robert, when he did play, a great player, but obviously got hurt. He's been out a lot. Same thing with Wander Franco. I'm still high on him, but obviously the 2023 season is where they're going to have to prove themselves.
And look at another one. I'm sorry to cut you off. Here's another one that was a bust. Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a really series of unfortunate events. Now, to me,
he was on point. He was consistent up until going into.
I feel like. That goes kind of both ways. I feel like he was really on point. He did have that really bad shoulder injury, but then I don't know, just young kids stupid, like the whole motorcycle thing, the PEDs thing. Like,
yep.
It sounds like his brother, his younger brother, is following the same suit. Elijah Tatis, and you guys probably saw some of his Bowman stuff. This past year, and he had a motorcycle thing as well. But Fernando Tatis, he could play. He was good, but God, Come on,
Now,
guys.
there's one player I give much credit and much respect to on how his contract played out. Aaron Judge. He came up 2017, won Rookie of the Year, was robbed of the MVP, got it. 2018, took a little bit of a dip. 2019, picked it up a little bit. 2020 and 21, about an average player because he was constantly hurt. They offered him an extension in 2022, which he denied. Okay?
He bet on himself.
He bet on himself and said, let my performance do the talking and the negotiating. After the season, we'll talk extension. And what happened? He won the AL MVP, broke Garrett's record, has been dubbed new captain. Payday.
Huge. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think a lot of these kids, when they're young, I get it. I think the average age for these kids, 25-ish. When you've got somebody throwing a massive amount of money at you, or impulse, it's quick. It's like winning the lotto. You give the option to somebody, Adrian, you just won $100 million. Are you going to take the full cash out, or are you going to take a monthly installment for the remainder of your life? I mean,
100%.
It all depends on honestly, I think these agents that these players represent need to do a better job in providing guidance for their careers.
I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying there, but at the same time, like, you sign something like that and then you do get hurt or something like that, then you're sitting pretty. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like from the organization standpoint, high risk, high reward is how I pin it out.
Ultimately, yes.
There's a lot of people that were in Aaron Judge's position that bet on themselves and lost big time on that. I think the first one that comes to mind, I think Tim I want to say Tim Lincecum from the
Tim Lincecum. He was one.
He was, and didn't, he bet on himself and it didn't pan out for him. So it's just interesting to both of us to see this. It's obviously a trend that we're seeing a lot more of these teams getting these extensions with guys before they've really proven themselves as a way to like lock in your next, big.
And
franchise.
maybe I'm a little bit butthurt because here I am, 44 years old, and I make a fraction of what they make on a yearly basis.
You are having a midlife crisis today.
No, I'm serious. I mean, if you really think about it, you've got these kids who are living in austere environments, poverty to the 10th degree. Okay. They do have this one talent and they capitalize on it and they go from zero to hero overnight. Nothing against that. Okay. But then you've got individuals that have put in many years of work and, make just enough money to be broke.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But again, more power to these young kids. Y'all keep doing great things.
So I'm going to do something a little different today to those guys who are listening. We've got a couple of guests coming on today. We usually have them come on about the half-hour mark to share their collection. This is a little different today. We've got some special guests that are going to come on and talk both baseball and baseball cards with us. Let me introduce the one, the only. It's an experience from JML and his buddy Fire Frank. Let's get them on here. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
What's up, gents?
What's going on? How we doing?
JML, thank you so much for not wearing a Yankees hat. I don't feel super bombarded like I already thought I was going to be with all the Yankee fans. I was feeling a little threatened, but now I feel good. How are you guys doing today?
I just got back from the bowling alley. I bowled a whopping 108 average between 2 games, which was
Decent.
horrific. Um,
Oh, jeez.
I'm such a competitor. It's like supposed to be a birthday party. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I just threw off the wrong circle. I'm like, where am I standing? Yeah, so it's never fun. Like no sport is fun with me. Not it's like the Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality when it comes to anything with me. It's pretty bad. So you can ask Frank that. Frank's known me a long time.
It is true. I mean, I'd hate to see how do you react to how I did bowling when we went out with my coworkers a couple weeks ago. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I just want to let our audience know, anybody that's listening or watching right now, the JML Experience is a YouTube channel that they talk baseball, they talk wrestling. They also JML also has weekly breaks. I did put in the description his website to where you can check out his breaks and check out how much to get in on those. And so graciously, JML is going to be giving away a spot tonight in the podcast, in the live stream, giving away a spot for that break that is happening tomorrow at I'm going to get my times mixed up because of Pacific.
Yeah, no, everyone does. So I'll make it easy. It's 2 Central Time, 3 Eastern, and that would make it like what? 1? No. Noon.
That'll actually be 12 Pacific.
12 Pacific. But baseball won't break until probably 3:30 Central Time.
Okay.
Because I have 4 breaks going.
So just to get a quick
yes.
Just to get a quick snapshot, obviously y'all been hearing what's been brought up so far. What are your thoughts about everything that's been brought up with these new kid signings?
It's smart. First of all, they're locking them into these out of the arbitration. So like if Corbin Carroll, who just got the 8 years, 111 million, if he in year 4 or 5 hits 30, steals 30, drives in 100, that extension actually is great for the ball club. But Corbin Carroll doesn't mind signing it because who's to say in year 4 or year 5 Corbin Carroll is out of the league?
Who's to say year 2 he's a bust?
Yeah, no, exactly. But these are smart moves. They're betting on their future and they're betting on the money now, because what happens is the cap is just going to keep going up and up and up with revenue sharing and the way people consume baseball.
So you agree that a lot of these young kids that get these extensions thrown at them are quick to take the first offer?
Correct. Okay. I would do this. I would do the same thing.
Judge didn't do that.
Well, he was smart not to do it, considering the fact.
Granted, he's a little bit older than a Corbin Carroll, a Keibert Ruiz.
But he was injury prone.
He was injury prone, but we saw no injuries in 2022. No.
But that was year 5 or we're talking about Corbin Carroll, like year 2, year 3, getting 8 years.
Give you that.
It's a little bit different than Judge. If Judge would have got a contract extension after the rookie 52 homer year, I'm pretty sure he would have signed it. He wasn't going to sign it off the injury plagued 2019-2020 seasons. And let me tell you, the 2020 season, you might as well just throw that season off. That season did not exist. That was
his
a 60
best
game
seasons
sprint.
was 17 and 22.
Yeah, obviously.
Because 17, again, he won Rookie of the Year, was robbed of MVP. No extension was made mention of.
I don't think they offered him one.
No, they didn't. They didn't offer him one until 2022.
Yeah,
which
like
he
you said.
gladly declined and said, "Hold my beer,
right,
and watch me work."
And the funny part about that is, even though he declined that, he was not asking for like what he wound up getting. So if they had just listened to him back in March of last season, they would have saved themselves a bunch of money. But I guess, of course, they didn't, and they had to pay.
But now
a man was making cheap. I think the total money he made over the first 7 years, what did he make? Under 40 million total.
Definitely,
that's a bargain.
And You know, I think a lot of these signings that these teams are doing, they're kind of trying to reap the benefits out of it from a revenue standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Julio Rodriguez, everybody loves the kid. You know, everything's all about the J-Rod show. And again, nothing against him because I love him.
High risk, high reward. High risk, high reward. Sides of this, I feel like
that's basically what it is.
Organization, they'll sign if they sign them and it works out. If they sign them and it works out, like they get a discount on like a great player. So
yeah.
And
the first,
in other cases, it happens.
Sorry about that. The first player I remember
Jml.
being really young and getting locked up to such a super long deal was Evan Longoria with the Rays. He signed,
and he's just an average player.
And he signed like an 8-year, but not at the time he signed it. Now he's an average player, but at the time he signed it, for that 8 years, I would beg you to go back and look at his wins above replacement.
When was his last MVP? His last Silver
But you
Slugger,
don't have to win an
his
MVP.
Last Golden Glove.
But
That's what brings that's what ownership looks at as far as determining a player's value.
But he signed for like 68 when he was like 22, 23.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned him too. Evan Longoria, he did sign for a pretty penny, but he got nothing to show for it.
For him, but the club
did the club
made out
win
on
the
that
championship?
Deal. They went to a World Series in 2000.
Did they win?
They still got there.
I'm just saying. I'm looking
at
the
Yankees haven't won since 2009. They've spent a cajillion dollars.
Okay, but when was the last mega extension that the Yankees did aside from A-Rod? Besides picking up on his tab, Stanton. Okay, I'll give you Stanton.
That was trade.
Garrett Cole.
Who?
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole's only been with the Yankees for about 3 years.
Right.
You know, I mean, so is it on pace? Yankees picked up A-Rod in 2007. They win 2 years later. Right. They pick up Cole, so I guess this season they're due for a championship then?
I don't know. Championships
due for a championship every year with what the Yankees do. Like the Padres, the Yankees, the Dodgers, they've got it. Like they got to get high into the World Series or high into the playoffs with the money they have spent. Like,
I expect the Padres to make the World Series with all the money that they threw around and that mega squad of a lineup. If they don't make it, money wasted.
Yeah, I mean that's a different argument too. I mean,
I expected them to get higher than they did last season.
Because I guarantee you, may he rest in peace, if George Steinbrenner spent the money that the Padres did to get that team that he has now, that they have now, he would expect a championship year after year after year. And if not, people getting fired.
Yeah, White Sox, Tom, he just loves the Yankees. That guy.
You know,
yeah, so, it's like it's the money. Like we said, there's like all the arguments. You spend all the money, but at the same time, there's people that don't, and then it's a weird mix. We talk about it on our show all the time. You gotta be.
Teams
smart
have to spend money though.
You gotta spend money.
No offense,
can't be cheap.
You're wearing an Oakland A's hat. You can't be the Oakland A's and spend nothing.
No,
100%.
Insulting to your fan base and 100%. Just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, management just happens to be cheap on the West Side.
I'm like. I just don't like when any of these owners are this cheap for no reason.
Rockies don't spend.
We're talking about billionaires.
Didn't spend a lot of money.
They don't want to spend money.
The Diamondbacks didn't spend a lot of money.
Okay,
so the Pirates could spend money, but they choose not to. They play in Pittsburgh.
They're Pirates. 100%.
So I mean,
yeah. So let's change the tone here just a little bit. We've got
it always becomes a heated
day. Who's everybody excited? I know. let's just say, like, who aside from you, all you Yankee fans, and you're excited, like, and your two big pitching losses now. That sucks. Who are we excited for to watch this season? I know we're baseball fans all around. We watch other teams and stuff like that. I know I do. I have no choice because the A's just crush my soul every day. But who are some players that are coming up or you're excited to see them have big seasons? Who are you guys excited about? Let's start. Frank, let's start with you. What you got?
Okay, so I mean, in general, I could talk about a couple of things. We talk about everything. As far as Yankees are concerned, just I'll start with first. I mean, I'm interested to see if who wins the shortstop competition they got going on. I want to see how a lot of these prospects do if they get called up. Peraza, I think, is a lock to make the team. So I'm interested to see what kind of season he has. I'm interested to see what they do in the minor league level. I want to see who makes the next step. As far as in general in baseball, I mean, like we talk about these young players getting locked up. We talked about J-Rod. I'm interested to see how he responds. A lot of these young guys on the Braves, I'm interested to see how they respond after these big deals. I'm more interested in just in general, just seeing, a lot of these young athletes take the next step, because we talk a lot on our show all the time about what's needed to make this game grow. And these young players, we need to draw the young viewers. We need to have these star young players. It's big. When I was a kid, Ken Griffey Jr. was out on everything. As an example, young player.
Even Cal Ripken, Tony
Cal
Gwynn.
Ripken, sure. I mean, these guys were everywhere. Like they were mainstream stars. Yeah, so I'm just generally excited to see like what a lot of these big prospects do, and not just on the Yankees, just in general. I'm interested to see who. Like who's going to take us the sport by storm this season, if you will.
100%. Who are you? Are you have a front runner in your mind who you want to be the shortstop for the Yankees?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know who he does too.
It has to be Volpe. It has to be. Like
eventually, yes.
Just bring him up now.
I mean, I would now, but I know they're not going to, because
him and
Dominguez they're going to play the
Dominguez nominally better than anyone they have in the outfield.
Yeah,
that's an option.
Right now, Adrian, in spring training for the Yankees, Dominguez is leading the Yankees in all stats.
Right. And I know a lot of people say don't judge by spring, and you can't.
I saw that.
But it's good to see a guy, and that's a guy, he just turned 20 years old. He was signed when he was 16. The guy just moved to AAA, I believe.
Yep.
Like you said, but even right now, is he better than the options they have out there other than Judge?
Is he better than Aaron Hicks?
I mean, I think JML and me could platoon the outfield and possibly play a better outfield than Aaron Hicks has done lately. Sad to say it. That's no joke. If you watch him play the outfield every game, me and JML just like pulling our hair out that we have left.
That's why I have no hair.
Yeah, that's why he has no hair. That's why I keep mine short, because I'm getting more gray hairs just watching him make some awkward plays in the outfield. For a guy that used to be a pretty decent outfielder with a good arm, can't do either of those things.
Dominguez the next the different players? Dominguez put on a lot of weight. He's not the 5-tool player. He's more like a 4-tool. Still is going to be a power hitter.
I see him moving out of the center field spot too. I think he projects.
He's a corner outfielder
for sure.
But I guess I'll go next.
Go ahead,
so please, this is going to be a little interesting. I'm actually very excited about the Baltimore Orioles young core that they have, and I've said this many times on the show. It's a shame that they didn't do anything in free agency of note to add to that team. But Adley looks to be the part over there. Gunnar looks to be a player. Then they have this young pitcher, Grayson Rodriguez, who looks to be a stud. Very interesting. If the Angelos that family decide to sell the team with what they have now, I don't know. The AL East is just ridiculously loaded with talent. You got the Blue Jays with their core. You have the Rays, who, let me tell you, they knew something about Zach Eflin that no one else knew. They jumped free agency and signed that man to 3 years, $40 million. They must know something that no other team knew. He was the first free agent pitcher signed. So Zach Eflin's on my list because God knows what's going to happen. He might be a Cy Young winner. For the Rays to sign him to the largest free agent deal they've ever signed a player to, they must know something that we don't.
Yeah.
because that guy was an average pitcher.
I don't know if you were here yet when we were talking about. I watched some of the the O's are on my radar big time. Their young talent is like unbelievable. I caught some of the Blue Jays O's spring training game today. Because I'm a big Bo Bichette fan, so I was just checking out the situation. And the Toronto Blue Jays looking pretty dang good too. But I got to see Jackson Holliday, like he pretty much beat out like a routine like ground hit to the second baseman. His speed is unbelievable. And then Gunnar Henderson coming up after him. Those three guys, I just think unfreaking believable. And let's not forget like Cedric Mullins and oh man, who else is on that team? I don't know. I think are good. They surprised a lot of people last year, and I think they're going to do even better than last year, and they're going to be up there. Possibly with
sure.
But like they're a team that should have signed.
Yeah,
they're a team that could have signed or benefited from like a Carlos Correa or someone like that, like to sprinkle in a winner to that young core. Like that would have been something.
Yeah, but they're definitely improving. We even on our show last year, we talked early on. We were pretty high on the Orioles before a lot of people were early in the season. So yeah, I wish they would have made some moves. Talking about it from baseball perspective, so
I think we have a little tech issues going on. But it happens. It happened to us the other day too, didn't it, Frank?
Yeah, it did for sure.
Similar situation. But
well, I mean,
who's your picks there for the young?
Here's my thing. I'd like to see how DeGrom does in Texas, how Verlander does in New York, and I would like to see how the Padres are after April 20th. And I specifically picked that date because that's the day Tatis comes back.
Okay.
Because you have, with that lineup, you have a mixture of both young and seasoned talent. And out of that whole lineup, Nelson Cruz, granted, he's not going to be an everyday player. He'll likely be DH for half, maybe three games a week, 4 at the most.
Yeah.
But he'll be able to provide guidance based off of his experiences to that younger team. Hopefully Juan Soto breaks out of his little slump because he did piss poor last season. Okay. And if Tatis has been working like he said he has, he should have a breakout / redemption season. Xander Bogaerts, no real issues that I can think of that he left Boston with. No. I mean, he's an elite player. Then you've got who else? Cronenworth at first. Then you got Grisham.
Yeah.
So I mean, all the moves that has happened in the off season, I'd like to see where those teams are throughout the season with the moves that they made. I mean, just to touch more a little bit on the Yankees, Harrison Bader is out for the remainder of spring season because of a left oblique injury.
I was just going to ask about him. I didn't know he got hurt.
He got a boo-boo, so we're not going to see him for the rest of spring training.
Injury. Okay.
That's more
injury is not a boo-boo, but
it's a boo-boo.
That hurts.
You got Carlos Rodon, Tommy Canley, and Lou Trevino. They're going to start the season on the IR list. So I'd like to see what Aaron Boone's going to do to adjust fire on that starting lineup. Are we going to bring up Clark Schmidt, Luis Gil? Hell, why not? Let's bring up Devi Garcia. Let's bring up my favorite player.
Your favorite player, yeah.
It's with the Yankees. I don't know what Aaron Boone's gonna do, but aside from the Yankees, I'd like to see what these players with their new teams do with their new teams, plus those kids that had those breakout seasons. I'm hoping J. Rye has a continuation of part 1.
Is Boone still betting on IKF too? You guys still have IKF playing?
Right now, he is rumored, and it's just rumor that he's on the chopping block.
Good. We finally got there. We finally got there.
Now
Him
we
and
just need to
Donaldson.
get. Now we need to throw Hicks in that chopping block
Oh
also.
yeah. Bye. Sorry guys. Thanks for playing.
Listen,
I mean, they could have just not re-signed or tendered IKF, but it was just weird insurance. But I said insurance for what? Because he's not a shortstop. So
no, he's really not.
We've spent the last 3 seasons trying to force people to play shortstop that aren't shortstops.
I mean, you've got Cabrera, who could play outfield and in the infield. Throw him on there temporarily until we decide to call up Volpe.
Yeah, I expect to see him.
Is Glaber has Glaber been doing better on second base for you guys? Is he still playing second base? Like,
yeah,
he's doing what he's supposed to do.
He needs to make it this year. He needs to make it. He needs to do it. He needs to have a good year. Otherwise, that poor kid.
Honestly, I'm not even worried about the field. I'm more focused on that starting rotation.
Yeah, that should be your biggest concern right now, for sure. For sure. You guys can always sign. I'm sorry, I'm throwing this out here because I can't wait to hear what everybody's going to say. You can always sign Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's still looking for a team.
I want him. Bring him on.
We've discussed this.
I'm actually really surprised nobody is taking him on just because of the discount factor of that. But I imagine that he's been considered just so toxic to the clubhouse that nobody wants to deal with him.
Yeah, he's a Josh Donaldson 2.0. Y'all can have him.
Right,
well, we already have Donaldson, so why not?
So why bring on Bauer? Double the toxicity.
Bauer and Cole don't get along at all. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I don't think those.
Neither does Donaldson and Cole. So that, at this point, just it is what it is. Thurman Munson and Reggie Jackson used to fight each other, and they won World Series.
Yeah.
Let's just get over this this one doesn't like this one, this high school drama bullshit, and excuse my language, and just
no, you're good.
Like,
they're not. You got it. They're millennials, dude. They're not like us, man.
We can't have this, like you said, this drama, this backstage drama that we talk about in our other podcasts. The same idea.
We're never gonna know in detail what happens in the clubhouse.
No, I don't care what they do in the clubhouse. Just play well on the field.
That's it. Yes. But a couple of other things came about that I'm sure is news to everybody. Mitch Moreland officially announced his retirement as a Royal.
I saw that you put that in the notes. I didn't see that who retired.
Yeah, Mitch Moreland. And he only did 12. He's only got 12 years.
How many teams? 7?
Minimum.
All right. I mean, he bounced around the last few years.
He did. Yeah, I give you that. And then right now, the Padres are actually considering extensions during spring training now with Josh Hader and Juan Soto.
Okay, Juan Soto is not.
I can see Soto. They can bring up the conversation. Mm-hmm. Is anything going to happen? Probably not.
No.
Not with
Boris. Josh Hader, I don't know.
Who's their agent? We know Soto's Boris. Who's Hader's agent?
Good question. It's definitely not Boris.
Yeah.
That's an interesting conversation considering what happened when he first came over to San Diego, but then obviously he finished up pretty strong. So
yeah,
I don't honestly. What we talk on our show, we're not really big fans of giving like relief pitchers or closing pitchers these big contracts.
Yeah.
Especially these days.
Neither are we. We had the big talk about
like these days it's so volatile. Like the closer role, anybody one day Clay Holmes top of the game, next day his arm is dead and he can't pitch. This is what happens every year. You see these young. There's so many young pitchers that throw hard now. Like everybody throws hard. So like these guys are expendable. Why would you spend all that kind of money?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll ask my Mets fan friends why did you sign Diaz to a big contract?
Honestly, wouldn't it be in the Padres' favor like to not sign Soto until after the season, considering the fact that Ohtani is also going to be a free agent and it doesn't look like he's going to get locked up by the Angels, or he doesn't want to resign? Like if you were to choose a player, because I don't think the Padres have enough money to get both unless they do. Like, wouldn't you pick Ohtani over Soto?
Well, that's a tough one that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because it's not like they're hurting on their starting rotation.
Yeah.
Not saying that there's never room for improvement either. Okay. But I mean, it all depends on exactly what management is looking for to help win those championships. Now, if I was the owner of the Padres, I would go with Ohtani simply because he can produce on the mound, and he could produce in the box, and he's a left-handed hitter.
Yep.
So
True.
I mean, that should be the end of an argument within itself.
Do you guys think Ohtani's going to continue on, though? I think he's going to continue on and excel in one area. I don't think he's going to continue to do pitching and hitting.
No, I think he is.
Do you? I hope so, but I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like he can sustain it.
They catered the game and the rules to him.
I know, but
we'll just see.
They can turn it right around. I feel like
I don't foresee him retiring as a two-way player. That I can pretty much say that.
He could be a closer.
I'll give it 5, maybe 6 more years before they decide one or the other.
Well, yeah, because being a two-way player, it's definitely sapping. Like, if he was just a pitcher, how much better a pitcher could he be? If he was just a hitter,
because let's go back almost 100 years. Babe Ruth was a two-way player. He was a phenomenal pitcher, and he was a savage with the bat.
I hate it when people compare that.
Okay.
I get it,
but here's the thing, though. Something clicked in management's mind and said he would best serve us as a bat versus a pitcher.
Well,
so that's what I think they're gonna do with Ohtani. They're gonna determine, okay, does he produce better as a pitcher or as a hitter? And it's just a matter of time.
I wonder what his stats. I look at his statistics. I know he can be a DH, but I wonder what his statistics were like being a left fielder or right. Did he play right field or left field?
He played right field.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if he was an okay enough right fielder, but the Angels need better. They need something. I don't know. They needed a new owner. That's not working out. But they've got they got
terrible manager
pieces, but they have got to come out of this.
They make big signings and they don't work out for them.
They really don't.
It works to be an Angels fan than it is an A's fan, because at least I've got an excuse. I've got these guys that just aren't in as long. They play good and then they go to other teams. But you got Mike Trout, you got Shohei Ohtani. I don't know what happened. Anthony Rendon just decided to be hurt.
That was a terrible sign.
And there's another point that was just made. A comment was just made. Babe Ruth was also a right fielder. Also, I forgot about that.
True. That's true. It's true.
So
we'll
see. Because Ohtani's not a spring chicken either.
What is he? 23, 24?
Hell no. He was 23, 24, like maybe 6 years ago.
Well, he's not 30. He's in his 20s still, yeah?
He was late 20s, I think.
I think he's probably 28 or 29.
28 years old.
Okay. So he's 28.
He's 28. He's already had his Tommy John.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah.
So in theory...
Look at Verlander. He's about 106.
Decent.
But one thing about Ohtani, though, I do have high hopes for Ohtani because even though the season hasn't kicked off, obviously we know he's playing in the WBC. He's playing for Team Japan. He actually said he made history in the WBC game today. He hit the hardest home run at almost 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was a double, wasn't it? I think I saw that statistic. I think it looked like it was going to be a home run, but it bounced off the wall. 100.9 hit.
Either way, it was hit hard.
That was sick.
And I don't know if you gentlemen are following WBC or whatnot, but it's pretty exciting.
It is.
I know Team USA is playing Great Britain tonight.
right now, probably. Oh, 15
Probably
No,
right
minutes.
9
now.
o'clock. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, obviously my team took a win. They spanked Nicaragua 9-1. Venezuela is going up against DR right now. And I haven't checked the score lately, but
I wasn't expecting to enjoy the World Baseball Classic as much as I am, but when you watch those games, it's almost like you ever seen like you're watching an overseas soccer game. Like
not even
crowd,
that. Just look at it as numerous all-star games.
It's
Yeah.
it's been really fun.
Just to give you a little perspective, for Team Dominican Republic, they got Juan Soto, Jeremy Pena, Julio Rodriguez, Teoscar Hernandez, Wander Franco, Rafael Devers, Manny Machado.
It's like the Avengers for
And they would have had Vladdy.
They would have, but he had another boo-boo. You know? And then Venezuela, they got Acuna, Altuve, Salvi Perez, Glaber, Anthony Santander.
Dang. So much fun.
Hey, in the Italians, you know who they have?
They got
Matt Harvey.
They got Matt Harvey, and
They got Matt Harvey.
Hey.
They got that one kid that he's a rookie from the Royals now, not Bobby Witt, Pascatino, something like that.
Yeah.
They got him.
Oh, you know who else is killing it on Team Japan? I didn't even realize he was on the team till a couple days ago. Lars Newbar, man.
Yeah.
Guy is killing it on Team
he
Japan.
is.
So, and I was like, I didn't even know. I'm looking at his baseball cards. I was like, I didn't even know that guy was Japanese. Like,
yeah, he is.
So I was like,
Mom's Japanese.
Dang. Awesome. All right, guys. We've been talking so much baseball. Let's get back into, let's talk about the hobby a little bit here too. Let's talk about some baseball cards. First, when we were talking about JML, what hobby boxes are in your break tomorrow for the baseball break?
Oh, they're behind me.
Oh my god, I should have pulled it up. It's a sick list. I think you got Ben Baller in there.
It's a murderer's row of hobby boxes. It's no Ben Baller. Bowman's Best.
Oh, Bowman's Best.
Just as good. Good.
Triple thread.
I know. I'm gonna
Topps Finest. Panini 2 and 3.
I heard you got opening day in there. Please tell me, kill that rumor.
No, I don't do paper base. It's too many cards. I have Optic Choice, 2 of those. I don't know. I can grab the boxes actually. Hold on.
I'm pulling it up. I got it right here. You got triple threads. You got Bowman's Best, Topps Finest, Tier 1, Panini 2 and 3, Optic Hobby, Topps Chrome Black, and 2 Optic Choices.
It's like 9 boxes.
Yes, 9 boxes. If anybody, so JML's giving away a spot in that tonight. Hence the whole Nightbot thing. You guys are seeing that we're having fun with that tonight.
Do IPC anyone?
Ooh, yes. It says it's sold out. Did you sell it out?
I sold it out.
Awesome. Last I checked, there was I think yesterday I checked, it was like 10 spots left, and I was gonna say, like,
I pulled this. That's why I told you I was gonna pull a spot.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. That's a killer lineup. So definitely a break I'll be watching tomorrow. Also, guys, in case you're interested, JML also he's got a budget WWE mixer going on. $70 for that. Looks like you've got 3 boxes of Select and 1 hobby box of Immaculate WWE.
I pulled a 1-of-1 out of WWE Immaculate last week.
Nice.
Of Mike the Miz Mizanin.
That's freaking awesome. Are you like pulling 1-on-1s like every single break now? Because didn't you pull a Scotty Barnes 1-on-1 or something like that too?
Yeah, the gold vinyl.
Sick.
I've done 21 breaks since October, and there's like 9 1-of-1s that have come out of them. It's pretty crazy.
So is this a football break you have here too? The Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay, so are these all supposed to be tomorrow?
Correct.
Awesome. So
you a busy man.
Yeah. Phoenix, Dragons, and the White Sparkles. Those are always fun for basketball. You got 2021 Phoenix, 2022, 2021, 2021 Select Asia T-Mall, 2 Mosaic White Sparkle packs, 2 Mosaic No Huddle packs. There's 5 spots left in that, guys. I've got the Website. There we go. Got the website in the description if you guys want to check that out.
And there's fillers.
There's also 1/3 fillers option, so those $28.50 to get a chance to get in to that break. And then last but not least, there is a basketball mixer as well, which is 90. Let's see, that one's not coming up sold out. Looks like there's 12 spots left, and there are fillers for that as well at $32. And breaking in that, we've got Mosaic Choice, Prism Choice, Contenders Optic, Optic Choice, Select T-Mall, Prism Fast Break, Optim Fast Break. You're a madman, dude, doing all these breaks.
The question is, what aren't you breaking?
Yes, exactly.
You know what's funny? So I ran a poll on the community page, my community page. I want to do the Fleer Ultra Avengers.
Oh gosh, I saw that. I voted no.
What? Enough people voted yes, and I would buy a filler. So I'm just gonna do it. So
do it. I think it's awesome, but I'm just like I try to stay only in baseball. But gosh, sometimes like
it is not hard to do. That's all I know.
Have you seen the white sparkle packs? Like when you see like RGL and Hitman open those white sparkle packs, those were
doesn't appease to me.
Really?
Yep.
Dang. I know. I'm one of those people like you open it up and I'm like, I don't even know.
I mean, the way I look at it, if it's not broke, why fix it? That's just how I look at it. I'm just maybe old fashioned. I don't know. But yeah, so
go ahead.
I just lost my damn thought.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Happens.
Yeah. That's that old age kicking in.
Yeah, it is.
I'm thinking of the prices shot up so much on this, but I'm really digging 2022 Topps Ben Baller Chrome this year. God, it is so pretty. That first year Ben Baller came out, I loved it, and then the next season I hated it. They just didn't do much with it. But this year with that black like refractor looking border on it, I just ordered I got my Bo Bichette one, and it's awesome. And I'm like, man, I kind of want to get. Do you imagine getting that? Your auto.
That's a white sparkle.
Nice.
Yep, doesn't tickle my fancy.
Okay, what if it was a baseball player?
They do have baseball
it's
white
not
sparkles.
Licensed.
It's a.
I'm picky. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm picky.
I'm gonna find.
Let me ask you this, Adrian.
Back to baseball and say, the Julio Rodriguez.
I was just about to ask you, when's the last time I sent you a Panini or a Donruss J-Rod for grading?
You haven't.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Good point.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Copy that. Frank, you're quiet down there. What do you like right now? What are you ripping into, or what do you want? What breaks are you getting into? What do you like?
I mean, I've done a few breaks. I actually. I didn't do too well last week in his big WWE break. But I did. I did have a couple decent cards. But he like every time I go on there's like all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm like, I pulled a great letter. Or a couple weeks ago we did that big baseball thing, and I got like the Orioles, and there's a couple of cool cards I got, but it wasn't even like I was like, oh okay.
Obviously,
I'm just trying to get into this like break stuff. Like I never like I've heard of these things. I've seen people do it. I just never got into it. Me personally, with baseball cards, I just tend to collect like basic cards or cards I think look cool. Or sometimes I like to get rookie cards of our franchise players. I'm kind of for a while I was collecting like the base sets and stuff, even though they're not worth anything, just for a hobby. I stopped doing that because it's like, what am I doing with all these cards? But
yeah.
So who's your guy?
What's that?
Who's your guy that you PC?
Who do you collect the most of?
Geez, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Judge now. I got a couple more Judge cards. I don't know.
He's more of a Judge guy.
Okay.
I like getting older stuff. Like I get a lot of stuff from the Topps website. I'm into the Topps Now cards. I collect a lot of those just because it's like a season recap. But I got a bunch of those. They had like the Topps anniversary a couple years ago. They had those nice cards, the Project Topps cards. So I got a bunch of those.
Okay.
I stopped getting them because they take up a lot of space in those thicker cases.
They're too bulky, yeah.
Too bulky. So I don't even have. I had to put them like in this big cookie tin, just taking up the whole thing. But there's some of those are really nice, like some cool designs on those. But I went back and I started getting like some rookie cards, some of my favorite players. But yeah, I'm not as big a card collector as
awesome.
Jml. But yeah, I like a lot of these things are really neat. Like the different, like you said, these maybe not the sparkle one. I like some of these, even like the basic cards are really nice these days. And some of those cards he'll be having tomorrow, like even those select Panini Select WB cards are looking a lot nicer than the cards they used to have with Topps. So yeah,
well, that's the thing. Panini by far outweighs Topps design wise.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but if you're a flipper, you're gonna stick more with the license.
Yeah,
sure. And then you got Topps that. It's funny how MLB made a big made an agreement with Fanatics, and then Fanatics just bought Topps. So Topps is still running the game.
Pretty much.
It's just funny, like they were going to lose a license, so they lost it, but then Fanatics like, well, we're just going to buy Topps.
Yeah.
So hey, I mean, good job. I mean, Fanatics is a great website. They a lot of great merchandise on there. So why not? They might as well get into the card game because
there you go.
I mean, what else is going on these days besides the card? Maybe some digital stuff. But but if I'm going to get a card, I want a physical card. So,
I hear you. Makes sense.
I'm not into like these NFT stuff. I just want some nice, cool looking cards.
So what's your PC there, JML? I know you are A-Rod fan.
I like A-Rod. I wouldn't say he's my PC. What I've really been chasing is the Glaber Torres Rainbow from Pristine. And I have every card except the out of fives and the one of ones.
Okay.
The one of ones have not surfaced yet. And then some jabron on eBay wants way too much for the out of five.
Yeah.
I've made several offers. My friends have made several offers. The guy's out of Brooklyn. He thinks that Glaber is worth for that out of five. I think it was like $90, and I'm like, that is not a $90 card. Based on what I've paid for the other cards, like like I literally have the playbook of what your out of five should cost, and you're telling me no, it's a $90 card. No, it's not a $90 card.
I would kill.
It's like a $40 card.
I would kill for a $90 J-Rod card. I mean, hell.
Yeah. I just
right
went
now,
through.
I'm eyeing the red border black gold. I think that's numbered to 10. He dropped $100, so now it's a whopping $1,400.
I see NASCAR in the chat. I do have a little NASCAR PC going. It's Joey Logano. I've been a Joey Logano fan for a while. I have his National Treasures from last year out of 25. Pretty cool card. I have the White Sparkle. I have an Obsidian to 10. Yeah, like I have like 7 or 8 of his, but it's really weird. Like just NASCAR, you would think would have a little bit more like value, but it has like virtually no value.
Yeah,
which is odd.
I feel like NASCAR like a majority of NASCAR fans are not into the car collecting, or they haven't gotten there yet. Because my dad and brother are big NASCAR, and they really like their guy's Kevin Harvick, and I had gotten a couple of cool cards, but yeah, my brother's kind of more into cards than my dad, and he's just was like, I don't know. He's got like the die cast. I don't know. It's just a different.
Relics are weird to me. A piece of the tire.
Piece of tires. Yeah.
Scratch and sniff.
Yeah. Basically. I don't know. It is what it is. Whatever makes him happy.
Crazy.
Dominguez is probably another one of my PC pieces, but he's on that. He was on the J-Rod level, but he's not on the J-Rod level.
I was just about to ask. Even with that massive dump that he took.
Yeah, but it's good to go back up. Look what he's been doing in spring, and if he happens to make the roster at any point early on in the season, which he should,
right?
You're telling me that he shouldn't. Like you haven't been watching.
Yeah.
Him and Volpe are clearly better than the other options they have.
Here's my thing. I don't foresee both of them getting called up, but if I had to choose, I would go with Volpe.
Yeah.
Just because more experience, like more, or what
just more experience.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, Dominguez has been putting up numbers. I got that. But then going back to our previous conversation early on in the show, gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
because he wasn't doing too great in Double-A.
Yeah. I don't know. When that whole like Jason Dominguez craze went on, I've got a couple, and I remember watching a lot of highlights, and I'm excited to see him because that guy is like a tank. Like
he's a monster. Yeah, he a
like
little pit bull.
Yeah. So and then you get to see some of his interviews, and he just seems like this just super sweet, nice guy. Like it's the kind of people that you hope do well because there's no goal. So all right, we've come up on the hour mark. We usually do these about an hour. I don't know, JML, you feeling like doing the giveaway right now? You think for all those people
let's
hanging out in the chat?
Let's do it.
All right. So I got the. Let's see. This is like first or second time I've used Nightbot. I don't know if I have to share the screen or not. I think I can just tell people what to type in. Keyword.
You could type it in your chat, and
Type
then
in the chat.
They should be smart enough to know to type it.
Okay.
Intelligent enough to type it.
Okay. Cool.
Should be.
What should we make it? What should we make it be? What should we make it be? JML for president? Something like that?
No.
Let's go.
We should make it
JML rocks. I like JML rocks. I like it. Make sure you guys thank JML for this. This is super awesome.
Frank, did you acknowledge the Rough Riders t-shirt that's being worn right now? Did you acknowledge it?
I haven't yet. No. Good call.
Who's got a Rough Riders t-shirt on?
That would be me.
Shit, can you see? So I can't see it. Oh snap! I was thinking I like JML. I love the Nirvana shirt. I'm headed to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next week.
Nice.
So that is on my. Nirvana is like.
Frank
the Beatles are up here for me.
Frank is from Rough Riders land.
Oh
yeah,
snap.
Legit. Yeah, literally lived on School Street when I was a kid. So yeah. So.
Hell, School Street was the same block that they filmed the Rough Riders anthem.
Yeah, because he lived right there in the corner.
Yep.
He used to be rapping on the street for quarters and stuff.
Okay,
when I was a kid.
Guys, in the chat, the way I just typed in JML rocks in the chat, you got to type it in exactly like you see it there. Exactly like you see it there. And only type it in once. You'll probably get booted if you do it more than once. And
I'm watching.
We'll let that run for a couple minutes here. Just get some people in here, and we'll be doing that giveaway here shortly.
I'd like to acknowledge my Cody Rhodes hat. Yeah. I want
He's
to
wearing it on every show now.
We need Cody to turn heel. That's what we do.
Yeah, so he's gonna wear it on every show possible until
I get in on it.
Yeah, get in on that. For
So
sure.
while we're waiting for everybody to finish up with the chat, what are y'all thoughts on Series 1?
Series 1 tops.
Yeah, 23 top series.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure
I
y'all
think
seen plenty of it broken.
It started off with a bang, and I think I like the design. I think it's overprinted, obviously.
Well, all the flagship is overprinted.
They're already going up in price, so I don't. Your ROI is definitely taking a dip.
How about the odds in favor of the higher tier formats? Hangers are no longer bangers now.
No,
Yeah.
well, that's why the hangers are like what, $13.
So we're updating, and you pulled magic out of those.
Yeah.
Well, they caught on. That was the.
Yeah.
It only took them towards the end of their print run and the beginning of Series 1.
You got to remember, I think this is the first Fanatics influenced release for
Well,
Topps.
Fanatics has no say so in this just yet. They don't take over until June.
But the marketing and a lot of the other the Fanatics has been flipping the bill
because update.
I think they're starting.
Update was Topps driven. The design, the print run, who's gonna be on it, the inserts. That's all Topps.
I think some of the stuff going on though, like definitely, I think they went kind of in the right direction. I think I watched that Market Movers video you sent me too.
Mhm.
Like I think they like putting more hits in jumbos and hobbies was a good direction. I think like you said, like they probably went way too extreme for it because now there's like virtually almost no reason to buy the retail.
And it goes back to
more chases in retail.
Yeah,
They want to kill the retail is essentially what's been, and that's
stupid.
What would make sense is if you're a collector who's into home field advantage cards, put those in hangers. If you're into the black golds, you can find them in jumbos or whatever the case may be. Because all you're doing is taking the kid who is all about the collecting out of the equation from the hobby.
100%. You're not bringing on those next generations.
Little Timmy don't have $300 to pay for a jumbo box.
Yeah, I think getting rid of retail at all, I don't think is a good direction to go as far as like getting customer retention kind of things and stuff, or getting new customers in, because there's plenty of people that like don't think to even go online or buy hobby. I don't have a hobby shop anywhere in my area. You got
now. There's one product that I will say Topps got right, in my opinion, and it's fairly new.
What's that?
Platinum Anniversary.
Yeah, I do like that, but that's not hobby only. They did have mega boxes in Target.
Were you talking about the 2021?
2021.
Yeah, when they came out, came. You could pick some up now, and it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
You will not get a dud box.
Can I tell you my only complaint about that?
Sure.
Series 700 player checklist.
100%.
Well, if you combine active and retired players, it's going to be huge.
There was a lot of players they could have left out of that list.
It was so delayed.
Some of the active players, yes, like there's a player that is on the Phillies. I forgot who it was, but he only pitched one damn inning, and he got like a 36 ERA. Those kind of players, we could do without. But keep the active players with your Hall of Famers and your retired players.
The Yankees had like 83 players on the checklist.
What's wrong with that?
I'm a Yankee fan. I thought it was ridiculous.
No,
I didn't need 83 Yankee cards, and that's
I'll take a A-Rod, I'll take a Judge, and I'll take a Yogi Berra and a Babe Ruth any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
All right. Let's do this. Let's get this giveaway going here. All right. I think I've got this.
Look at you. You're a pro.
Take. Oh man, it took me forever to get to this point.
We only have 9 people. What the F?
There's 9 people. So somebody asked if I received a ticket or whatever. So I just want you guys to see on the far left of the shared screen here where it says users, the names that are listed there.
Click the mods. You don't have the mods on.
I don't have the mods on.
That's why you only have 9 people.
Mods.
Eligibility underneath is mods.
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go.
See, I look out for I'm a man of the people.
Thank you. There we go. There's the list. Now we've got 17, and I think there was 19 people in here last I checked. 24 now. So you guys make sure you type in that JML Rocks. I'm about to do this here in a second. Give you guys just another minute, and we'll see who's going to be getting that spot in that epic break tomorrow. JML's site. What are we at here? 17. Let's see. See your name on the list. You got to type it in exactly the way that I typed it in earlier, guys. So I feel like, Adam, you just typed it in, and I think you need to have the caps and everything.
If you want to be really nice, what you could do is you can just make everybody eligible that types anything in by just like
clicking all these
no, just go into users and just making sure they're all checked off, which I think they are.
Reset eligibility. Okay. Cool. There he is. Okay. I think
by the way, we do have a fantasy baseball league we're trying to run. It is not for the faint of heart, depending on your what you perceive as income. It's $100 per spot, 10 spotter. How many teams do we have, Frank, so far?
Last I checked, we were at 5. I'll double check if we got any updates since then. I don't think so. I think we're at 5 right now. We got 5 slots left.
If anyone's interested in signing up, let me know. We're going to be live streaming the draft as well.
You're in, Sticks. You're good to go. Your name is on the list. All right, guys, I'm running this thing. Let's go roll it.
Yeah, we got 5 teams right now.
Adam's card closet.
Adam's
go.
card closet.
Congratulations.
Congrats, man. All right, Adam. I hope
Email me. Here's my email. It's in chat. I can have your shipping info, your first name, and all that good stuff.
Cool. Congratulations, Adam. All right, let's get rid of this. Out of here. That wasn't too bad. That was my first time using Nightbot. So it only like gave warnings to a couple people in the beginning of the chat here. It was pretty funny. So all right, guys.
Well,
I always
appreciate
call Fire Frank Fire Dave for some reason. Fire Frank and JML, thank you so much for being on. Is there anything else you guys got going on that you'd like to let the chat, anybody know?
Yeah. So I would like to thank the both of you for your support, especially early on when I first started the channel, which was in July. To be at almost 1,200 subs, it's really crazy.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Me and Frank. Frank came on like 3 weeks into the channel, and I was like, it's something we could just do for fun. Whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. And to be sitting at like 1,200, it doesn't, it takes a lot of people. It doesn't take like me. It doesn't take it's a lot. It's a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank everyone that's contributed, whether it's just a simple like, a comment, whatever. It's I'm very grateful. Sometimes very overwhelmed by it, but in a good way.
Sure.
So that's pretty much all I have to say. Frank.
Both Adrian and I are in the same boat. So we know what you're going through.
Thank you. Yeah, I thank everyone for the support. It's just been, it has been kind of overwhelming. We're just like I said when I talked to you guys before, just me and Jml, we talk baseball all the time. We might as well talk about it on the air.
Yeah.
And I was new to this. I never I've done a few of my friends' podcasts. I never did anything regularly. He's and we're we'll just wing it. And we did. And I think a week, our second show where we decided, let's rank our top 25 players in baseball. Why not?
Why not?
And we did it. And we had a lot of fun with that, and just it grew from there. And and going with our wrestling shows with our other host Charlie, we have a lot of fun. Just talking nonsense all the time, talking whatever we're talking about. We talk baseball. We might throw a little football. We might throw in a little basketball. We might throw in whatever's on our mind.
Well, whatever it is you gentlemen are doing, it's got you guys notoriety. All right, y'all made a name for yourselves. Don't change nothing.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I think you guys are doing great, JML. You were supporting me early on too. We've been bouncing things off each other. I love it. I appreciate you guys both so much. You guys definitely check out the JML experience. I've got the links in the description. If you guys are not following him, I would definitely check it out. He's got more than baseball going on over there. Some Frank just said, they talk a little bit about everything, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, may see a tennis break in the future. Who knows?
Hey, Avengers coming soon. Guys.
Yeah.
Why not, man?
So, thank you guys so much for being on today. I'm gonna keep you backstage for a minute if you want to hang on while we lock down the show here. We'll talk to you after for just a sec. All right, guys, and have a good night. Boom. All right, Battle got another podcast checked off on the list.
Another one in the books.
Another one. Thank you all so much for being in the chat today. For those of you listening on your favorite podcast format, thank you so much for those downloads. We need those downloads. We appreciate you. I will see you all out in YouTube land. Boss, Mr. Ray, you got anything else?
Make sure y'all download this on your favorite podcast, because we can see who has or has not downloaded it. And Rocky, You need to go ahead and download it, man. I got my
Call
eye
them-
on you.
Call them out.
I'm calling people out.
It's awesome.
I know where you live.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah,
you don't download us. I'm gonna send you a centipede in the mail.
Oh man, you guys stay tuned for us next week. We'll be back on next Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Me and Mr. Fago were bouncing off new ideas today, so we might be incorporating some new things, might be taking some things away. But we're gonna see you guys all out in YouTube land. Appreciate you so much. Have a good night.